Good morning, respected judges. I'm going to present my paper on a 2-year prospective clinical microbiological study of orbital infections in a tertiary care unit. Paper number 193. Our study the aim was to study the clinical microbiological profile of orbital infections. This study focuses on prompt identification of clinical signs and symptoms of orbital infection and microbiological study. We classified our patients of orbital infection into two broad classifications, preseptal and postseptal, based on the Monoli's modification of Chandler's classification. If it was anterior to the orbital septum, it was preseptal or periorbital infection, and if it was posterior, it was postseptal or orbital cellulitis. Now, why is orbital cellulitis more dangerous? Because it affects the structures behind the orbital septum. There is always a threat of extension from periorbital structures like paranasal sinus, phase, eyelid infection, dactylitis, dental infection, etc. Early clinical distinction is very vital amongst orbital infection. The causes can be exogenous and endogenous. Exogenous causes being trauma and surgery, and endogenous causes being bacteremia with septic emboli, intraorbital causes like endophthalmitis, etc. Now, orbital infections can have life-threatening complications like septicemia, endophthalmitis, and cavernous sinus thrombosis. After taking ethical committee clearance and proper consent from our patients, we started our study in the Department of Ophthalmology, Vimsar, Burla, in the year June 2018, which carried up to May 2020. Please note, at this time, the COVID was just on its start. And our sample size was 147. It was a prospective study. We included all the patients with orbital infection of all age group, and we excluded the patients with masquerading tumors. The variables were age in years, etiology of the infection along with underlying comorbidities, clinical profile was signs and symptoms, microbiological evaluation of samples. The samples that were taken were the aspirate from the site, the sinus aspirations, and blood samples. And our study were history taken, microevaluation, CT scan, MRI, and neuroconsultation if necessary. Now, the results that we found was that more than 80% of our cases were preseptal and less than 20% were orbital cellulitis. The maximum number of cases were present in the age group 0 to 15 years, which was 54 cases. And then we had another peak at 41 to 60-year age group, and hence we have this bimodal peak here. Please note that. And in the predisposing factor, sinusitis was our most common predisposing factor. In preseptal cellulitis, we had maximum of sinusitis, and in orbital cellulitis, the rare cases which we found was one case of post-COVID mucor, diabetes mellitus mucor, and diabetes mellitus, along with a cavernous sinus thrombosis. Now, the samples with positive culture which we found was in 53 cases of sinus irrigation, we found that 33 patients had positive culture for infection. Out of 28 patients of orbital aspirate, we had 17 positive, and out of 147 blood samples, we had 25 blood sample culture positive. Now, the organisms which were isolated, the maximum number where we found in the patients was of Staphylococcus aureus, followed by Streptococcus pyogenes, and in the two mucor cases, our fungus was Rhizopus. Now, when we compared our study with the other studies, we found that the preseptal cellulitis was maximum in our study, which was 80, and in the study done by Dennis in 2017, they also had maximum of preseptal cellulitis. We found a bimodal peak, which was also comparable to Pandian et al. In 2011 and Chang et al. In 2017, which found the bimodal peak. The predisposing factors, as we said, the sinusitis we found was most common, and it was also found by Sarah et al. And Staphylococcus aureus infection was maximum in our case, whereas Mohammed et al. Also found in 2020 that we had maximum Staph aureus. Now, these were our patients. This is of bilateral orbital cellulitis, preseptal cellulitis of the right eye, mucormycosis of the left eye, and this is a plate showing the beta hemolysis by Staphylococcus aureus. So I would conclude my study by saying that we found preseptal cellulitis is more common than orbital. OI has maximum bipodal. Orbital infections have a bimodal peak. Sinusitis followed by trauma was the most common predisposing factor, and the comorbidities like diabetes mellitus can lead to severe form of orbital cellulitis. Staphylococcus aureus followed by Streptococcus pyogenes are the common organisms found in the samples, and very importantly, a thorough clinical evaluation combined with diagnostic microbiological expertise would help curb maximum complications in orbital infection. We do not have any financial interest, no sponsorship, no conflict of interest, and these are my references. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Somi,
Yes,
for a nice presentation and also concluding on time.
thank you, sir.
One question or rather comment.
Yes, sir.
In your preseptal cellulitis cases, sinusitis was the most common association, I guess.
Sir.
Generally, sinusitis lead to orbital cellulitis because sinus opening or sinus proximity is behind the septa.
Yes, sir.
Ethmoid sinus also is proximal to the orbital area which is behind septa. So whenever there is cellulitis secondary to sinusitis, we get orbital cellulitis rather than preseptal cellulitis. Preseptal cellulitis is mostly related to trauma and other minor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's just an observation.
Cases. Actually, we did the cases which we had. I included it, all of them. Okay. So anyway, sir. Yeah. Any other questions?
Anything new? This like everybody knows the Staphylococcus and Streptococcus pyogenes.
So actually, the new thing that we found was actually COVID.
And of course, the observation of Dr. Sharma is very right.
Yeah, sir. Actually, the new thing, actually, by our study, we wanted to find the orbital cellulitis and preseptal cellulitis cases present in Odisha as such, because there were no study done before. And secondly, so the new thing that we found was mucormycosis, because it was done in May to 2020 only. So we found one case of mucormycosis, but of course the number of mucormycosis cases have, of course, they have increased by 19 in our institute, which is the second highest in Odisha presently after AIIMS Bhubaneswar. So I couldn't include that in my talk. Hence, that's it, sir.
All right.
You got mucormycosis that long back, because quite long back you have studied. I think what we are seeing mucormycosis recently in last few months.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We had
I think you have submitted your paper long back.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying, sir. We had one case at that time, and that's why I wanted to include it here.